Hey everyone, appreciate you all being here at USA Crypto Group for this AMA session. Today we have a project called KEI Finance. KEI Finance is a simplified cross-chain trading strategy protocol with direct blockchain to vendor debit card payment solution. So with that being said, I'd like to welcome Kevin from the team as well as Matt. Pleasure to have you guys here. If you guys can start out introducing yourself, talking about your team, and give us a bit of insight to your background experience.
Yeah, for sure. As mentioned, my name's Kevin. I am essentially the founder of KEI Finance. I also am pretty much the head of the technology here as well. So all things to do with tech, building. My experience is definitely technology focused, as I mentioned, and I've worked in software for the last 15 years, especially in the Web2 space. For example, working from many varying different companies, from small startups to large corporates, and you got government enterprise as well. And so I've got quite a bit of experience in that space, and been in crypto for probably the last 5 years now, and I guess essentially fell in love with it, in love with the technology that I guess crypto and blockchain decentralization has to offer in general. And so I think, that's kind of why I've been building on it ever since. And and KEI is kind of really a result of the passion for blockchain and decentralization, and especially finance as well. So with me is Matt. I'll let him introduce himself.
Hello, I'm Matt. I'm the CMO at KEI Finance. Been with the company for 9-10 months now. Been in Web3 this will be coming into my 6th year shortly. And I've background in different sales companies before moving into Web3 marketing. Most of my Web3 experience has been more on the GameFi side of things, helping startups in the GameFi space sort of navigate the narrative around gaming in Web3. And then my own personal love for trading decentralized assets as well. Those two things combined have led me to KEI Finance. Some of the other projects that I've worked alongside from consultancy roles, things like Gods Unchained, Nervous Network, and representing several esports teams looking to make their transition into Web3 as well, alongside a couple of other wallets, a Layer 1 network, Maze Chain, and now KEI Finance as well, which is fantastic. So very excited to be here today. Very excited to be with the team as we do a raise at the start of the bull market. So it's all good.
Yeah, so I think that the timing is amazing. Appreciate the introduction there, guys. I mean, I looked at you guys' team. You guys have an extensive background, Kevin as well as Matt as well, but you guys also have a big team behind you. So that's great to see. Now, KEI Finance, you guys are doing something, I read through the white paper. I really like it. I really like the project. And I think it's something that we actually need in the space. But before we go on, I know Matt, you just spoke on about you having a passion for trading in the Web3 in DeFi. That's how it led you to KEI Finance. But let's go dive deep a little bit. Like Kevin, since you're the CEO, what inspired you? What do you see out there currently right now? Or what problems do you see exist right now that inspire you to build a platform like this?
Yeah, it's a great question. So I think it definitely, the crypto space is changing so fast. The technology as well. There's so much development happening, which is super exciting. It's exactly what we need in the space. And I think when KEI first kind of originated, it was I think through several of the pain points around I would say my experience in DeFi and in crypto, and I guess the complexities of being able to go to I guess you'd go to a website and you'd see the high APYs and not have any idea how they work or the complexities behind it, and then trying to figure out how to get involved with the protocol, and then yeah, there was I guess a lot of steps and hurdles, and especially in the experience as well. Like so I think that's at the moment in crypto as well. Everything is, has a crypto feel to it, and I think, for us to be able to reach, mass level adoption, we need to be able to create this like Web2 feel and experience in especially in DeFi, like something that, DeFi is inherently complex and painful at times to even get involved with. So I think, that was definitely some of the core pieces. We wanted to create something that was transparent, that people could see real value in, that wasn't misleading in what we were trying to achieve. And it was super easy and enjoyable experience to use as well. So that's kind of some of the core pain points that we're trying to solve there. And yeah.
Definitely, and I definitely can see those pain points as well currently exist in the space. Now, to sum it up, let me know if I'm wrong, but you guys are building a trading and investing platform that's made very, very simple. Even the beginners, for the people, even not even the Web3, who don't have any technical knowledge, able to use it. But now you guys also tying the debit card into the protocol where people can use it like any other credit card at any retail places in the world, correct?
Yeah, exactly. So 100%. So what we're trying to achieve is this full experience. And this experience looks like essentially access, grow, and transact. So the accessibility of being able to get into the protocol, being able to use it, experience it, enjoy it. And then grow is being able to essentially, so with our trading strategies and our strategies pools, essentially that's your key to growing and accumulating more of your favorite kinds of assets in DeFi. And then transact is the connection between blockchain and the real world. So I think these are the core pillars that are definitely how we're going to, I guess, navigate, for example, the next bull run, when people that join crypto have no idea how to use crypto. And what we're trying to do is, it can even be considered, or I guess what we're trying to even create is something it's even potentially more simple than some even Web2 investment platforms. So overall, it's this super simple experience that kind of creates this whole into crypto, out of crypto, and taking advantage of all of DeFi at the same time. So, yeah.
That sounds really, really awesome to to actually really nice to see a project, or you guys working on a project like that, because I think it's actually necessary in order to onboard the regular people, or even just to propel the space to new height, right? We have to make the protocol simple enough where the Web2 users are able to come on without realizing that they're actually using Web3, right? So I think that's very critical component. And I think you guys are aim to solve that, which is really awesome. Now, I definitely want to get to the technicality of how you guys are going to do that. But simply put, Kevin, so is it safe to say that you guys trading platform is kind of like an index fund in a sense, or no?
Yeah, you could essentially say that the strategies that that we're providing are, they're essentially fully customizable. You can pick the kinds of assets you want to hold and get involved with, and then you can choose also the one in particular that you want to grow. So if you're more crypto focused, you might want to grow your say ETH balance, for example. But if you're more USD focused, then you might want to grow that one, for example. So it's all we're trying to create these customized experiences that people can pick exactly what they're interested in, and be a part of the things that they really love.
Okay, so actually, I'd like to get deeper, so that way we can understand, have a better understanding of your protocol. So let's say I'm coming onto your platform. I have no knowledge you guys have an email to sign that up, so which I'm able to sign up with my email as well. But let's get into the trading strategy. So let's say, I'm 30, a little conservative, and I don't want to take too much risk. So is it one of those things where you have to go through step by step? Like you guys will ask a couple questions and I have to answer. Then you guys suggest a portfolio that I should invest in. Is that how that works, or?
Yeah, so I guess the experience, it's so I guess as someone that hasn't really experienced crypto before, they're curious, they'll come in, they'll sign in with they'll create an account with like a username and password, and then that will, so just I just want to point out that, everything on K is, what we're trying to keep and maintain is decentralization. So while we have all these simple interfaces, we're trying to make sure that everything is still within ownership of the user. So as this user comes in, they sign in with their username and password, it creates an account for them. And then, essentially they'll select like what, so they'll be presented with some recommended, I would say, entries, recommended strategies. And this would be based on like, so they would ask, do they want something that's more high risk or more stable? And, they can see the performance of each one. They can see, I guess, what assets are in each one as well. They might not really know, but that's the idea behind these recommended ones, is that, someone can just, with a couple of clicks, just pretty much, get involved with crypto straight away.
I like that. Actually, I really like that. Yeah, so I think it's almost like an index funds for crypto where, you have different type of baskets, right?
Exactly.
And
Yeah.
so based on the risk tolerance that you have, right? So whereas, let's say, if my risk tolerance is like crazy, right? Like I'm willing to lose it all, then you guys would probably in a basket with a bunch of meme coins in it, right? And
Right.
where, so actually I like that a lot. Actually, that's really, really cool. So yeah, so I think that was the problem when you come into the space in the beginning. When I first remember coming to the space, you have to literally have to buy an individual coin, right? And so either you just get rugged. I mean, I've been rugged so many times first coming to space. But imagine if I had something like this where you guys literally, done the homework, or I guess, scrutinize all the coins within the basket, and you guys categorize it. You have the low risk, medium risk, high risk, or super high risk, or whatever, and a person's able to come in, right, just to start investing, then you can actually use that time to get your feet wet, and you can actually start learning about DeFi. So I think that's a very ingenious idea. I love the concept.
Just to add on to that, just before we kick on, because it's when we always speak about K, we often and I built the narrative around this is speaking to this kind of Web2 audience that wants to, as you say, dip their toes into the water. But the other way that I love to look at K is that you come in and you do dip your toes in the water, and you're having a really good experience, very familiar, very intuitive, and sort of very nurturing to get people into the DeFi space. But it's also a platform that helps you evolve, because the other thing that we have on top of this, choosing your own base assets, selecting how much you want to invest, how long you want to invest it for, and then setting those profit and loss parameters, that easy 4-step click to get in, is the ability to also create your own strategies for the community. And assuming that there's probably a lot of people in this group who are very much into trading, have been into Web3 for quite some time, this is a really good way to benefit from K Finance as well. And we'd love to start speaking with these people who want to share some of their trading strategies, or learn to set their own trading strategies with us that community can use. And there's incentives for doing so as well, including a larger share of the trading pools or trading strategies that they create themselves as well. They do go through a vetting process, and we are building out a proof of reputation system to keep the community safe, like new users coming in. But if you are like more into Web3 and you want to experience K Finance and offer really cool trading strategies to other community and get more out of it for yourself, definitely come and chat to us, because there is that community creation function as well.
That's actually really cool. And I mean, with that, with what you just said there, I mean, I'm pretty sure that you guys probably headed towards the directions where an investor can actually follow another investors eventually down the line, correct? Somewhere in that one line?
Yeah, 100%. I think that's the really cool thing about this idea of like proof of reputation as well. Because as people add their strategies to the pool, we keep an absolute record of that. So when you join someone else's pool or strategy, you'll be able to see the other strategies that they've created and how they performed as well. And just like people do in Web 2, right, where, or even across crypto, where they follow their favorite trader who talks about their strategies and this kind of thing, is the idea being that you can basically then follow someone and in their trading strategies and join them on that journey as well, giving the sort of the community and these advanced traders a really good presence in K Finance to help people on that journey as well.
Yeah, I think that's a great idea. I love the concept, man. I really do, and I think a lot of people in the space, especially if you just coming like into the space, or even if you've been around for a while, I think this is actually a really good place for you to, I guess, mitigate the risk a little bit, right? Because I'm assuming that that basket that you guys have is actually very diversified, right? So you cannot just get rugged 100% like how now where you have to buy individual stock pretty much or coin. If it falls, pretty much you're done, right? So I think it's a great concept.
Yeah, exactly. Like you can really take advantage of the market fluctuations with these kinds of strategies. Like when you pin multiple assets against each other, you can trade between them, and then that's kind of where you can create this growth as well. So it's definitely, yeah, definitely a cool piece. Something like I'm literally, I'm super excited to use it for myself, really. So it's, yeah, definitely something that I know I'm going to be using a lot of, and I think that's I'm trying to build something that I would personally love to use, and yeah, I'm just trying to put that energy into hopefully other people can kind of feel excited by it and passionate about it as well.
100%. Now, I definitely want to get into deeper on how you guys determine these baskets. The I guess the risk level of these baskets, and I guess what are the processes that you guys have in place to, I guess, do the research to create these baskets. Now, I know, Matt, you said that you came from a trading background, so you have a lot of knowledge behind that. Now, are you the main guy behind this, Matt, where you kind of look at the stocks and I guess make the assessment to determine, what basket it goes to what?
I wish I was the main guy behind it. That's Kevin through and through. I'm very much a very safe trader, which is why I love K Finance. And, I'm a very time poor person working so much around Web3. So the automation, everything works well for me. But in terms of like the risk strategies and the security involved in joining the pools, that's all Kevin as the CTO, keeping everyone safe. So I'll hand to him for that.
Yeah, so initially, like we'll have some very, I guess, well-known assets that are proven, I guess, in terms of liquidity, stability, history, all these things. And so these will be, for example, in our initial recommended strategies. And in the future, as the team grows bigger, that's definitely a side of the project that we will expand upon and have like dedicated research teams like looking for and finding and putting together different, I guess, different strategies there as well.
I see. I mean, the model, I think, is proven in the traditional finance already. So I think you guys are
Exactly.
doing
So
pretty much the same.
we're not doing anything that's essentially new here. It's kind of taking what's already working and I'm applying it to DeFi and crypto. And the really cool thing about DeFi is that you can do these kinds of models, but then you can do them on like, for example, say you have USDT and you want to diversify it up into Bitcoin, Ethereum, and USDT. Essentially, you can say that you want to lend your USDT out and then also stake your ETH and at the same time have it all automatically managed for you. So you're not just getting the fluctuations of the market, but you're also getting the benefits of DeFi in general, which I think, is, these kind of things can be so complicated and a big learning curve to get into. And I think that's something as well we're trying to simplify and take advantage of.
It's also important to note as well that at the beginning, like a lot of the strategies that we're using, so we're sort of just thinking about how do we get a really good experience up front, because we spent 2.5 years building this product. So for a product that's launching, I dare say that we have above average amount of utility for people from day one being able to use the protocol. But then looking at like, okay, how do we expand that? And one of the really cool things about KEI is that it's backed fully by a DAO that'll be in operation once we launch as well. So people coming in and holding the KEI token, especially those that are really into trading that want to weigh in on this as we look to expand those algorithms, because as you know, with like algorithm trading, there's so many different ways that we can go. But instead of like offering like a full buffet smorgasbord of different strategies and overwhelming the user, we'll keep it, relatively like simple but highly effective at the beginning, and get that experience sort of morale up high, and then bring in the community as we look to like expand on those algorithms and look at a lot of different cases based on the user group that we have as well, so that we can just make sure that the algorithms and the trading strategies that are on offer are things that people are actually looking for as well.
I like that because I think with trading it's all about people's sentiment, right? When it comes when you strip everything down and getting the community involved, I think that's crucial. So I definitely see your vision where you're heading there. So I think it's very straightforward. Yeah, I think if you guys are able to streamline and make this efficient, and with the right marketing in place, I think this can take off. I think it's actually very needed in the space, to be honest with you. I would definitely use it for sure, even though I've been in the space for a long time, have somewhat experience in trading. But if I can just let something automatically, I just pick a basket, and I think it'd be a lot more safe than for me to sit there and manage it myself, every day in and out, where I have to look at my phone constantly and try to figure out when to pull out, when to go in. So I think if you guys, so I think this is a great system if you guys are able to do that.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was just gonna add, the great thing about these strategies is that you pick your favorite tokens and assets, and say one goes down, then essentially your strategy will pick more up of it, and then another one goes up. It's gonna move it around in your favor. So you're getting the benefits of if it goes down, you're accumulating more of it, and so either way, it's kind of like win-win if you're picking all of the ones that you're passionate about.
Correct.
Yes.
Correct. So let's put in a simple term here. So imagine if you guys are like a DJ with high risk, right? Now you guys have to literally manage it yourself, where you have to buy coin A, coin B, coin C, coin D, whatever, and you have to literally watch every single one of them, right? And you have to figure out when to go in, when to go out, right? So what they're trying to do is literally, they're going to have a high risk basket where they can have all those tokens in one basket, and everything will be automated. So you don't have to sit there and look at your phone constantly, which is really nice, because now, let's say if one falls, right, and you have other 5 still, do well. So so it's very simple, I think, man, I like it, man. I really like it.
It's really user defined as well, which is really great. So if you're doing let's say we bring in these, we got like a basket case of just meme tokens that are just popping off in every direction. The user gets to set their profit and loss as well. So the user and how long they want to be in that trading strategy for, as part of the 4-step entry point. So it's a really cool way to sort of play with those tokens, because I remember when it was like 2020, 2021. I tell the story all the time about how I lost heaps on meme coins when my phone went flat in the middle of a supermarket shop and I couldn't get back. Had to top up ETH to get the gas fee, to swap out of the token. And by the time that all happened, it was all over. But if the user sets those, it can be a really fun way to sort of play with that kind of more DGen culture for people as they sort of, start to spread their wings a little bit as well, but still, be user defined, but safe enough to make those parameters yourself. So if you put 1,000 in, you can set the 2,000 profit is where you're going to sell, or it falls to 750, you're going to sell there as well. So at least we can keep the user safe in enjoying those experiences, as opposed to sort of some of us that have been around for a bit longer that have had to experience the complete rug pull and the drop to zero in a drop of a hat.
Exactly. Yeah, so it's kind of like a stop loss, right? So anyone able to set a stop loss profit, and it does it automatically while you're sleeping. So that's the idea of it.
Exactly, yeah.
Really cool, man. Really cool. Now I I was actually reading the white paper, and now you guys have a payment system that's tied in to your portfolio. Even if you are trading actively in the portfolio, you can use that credit card in the real world. Walk me through that. That's actually very interesting.
Yeah, so what we're trying to do here is create, I guess, an experience where you can be earning and spending at the same time. So essentially, the way it would work is you get your card, and you basically hook it up to your strategy, and that kind of works in like a Web3 approval process, and basically you set the spending limits on your card. For example, like on a daily, weekly, monthly, you can have like $100 a day spending limit, and essentially what that means is that that card can't take any more than $100 out of that pool at any time. So when you go to the shop and say buy your groceries, what will happen behind the scenes is that on transaction, we'll get a request from the provider to like approve or reject the transaction, and essentially we will be, I guess, keeping track of every user's balance at the time, and if they have the balance there, we'll approve it, and then what will happen at that point is that we'll send a transaction which will move the funds from the strategy, convert it into fiat in real time, and then pay for that in the grocery. So there's a lot kind of happening there behind the scenes, but essentially it's as you go to the grocery shop, you spend, that will just kind of automatically come out of your strategy. And what we plan on adding in the future as well is that if you don't want to be selling your crypto, we'll have an option there to potentially convert it to a loan. So there's an ability to, when you spend, have, like, say for example, ETH converted to USDT in a loan, and then you can come back and pay it off and get that ETH back. So there's a few things you can play with there, but what we're trying to do is create this ownership of your assets that the user has. They don't have to move them out of anywhere. It's all decentralized on the blockchain still. And we're creating a super easy experience to be able to use your crypto in the real world every day.
That's actually really interesting. Now, before I want to dive deeper into bit, what is the time? I guess what is the waiting? Let's say I walk up to the cashier. I have this K card with me. What you described, it seems like there's a lot of technicalities that went behind it. A lot of things are moving. Is it like instantly? I mean, you guys do that instantly, and am I gonna sit there and hold a line for 5 or 10 minutes?
So it's it's actually a technically hard problem to solve, because everything needs to happen within 15 milliseconds.
Okay.
Yeah, so we have some models for doing that, and it involves a lot of I guess preloading of balances, keeping track of blockchain transactions, and then kind of having a process of executing the transaction. So in terms of the technicalities of what that looks like, so essentially so at each account will have, so I'm just wondering how technical I should go in for you guys. But so each account is essentially a Gnosis safe. Gnosis safe is requires multiple signatures, and so our account abstraction model is built in a way where it requires a signature from the user and it requires a signature from the API, and so nothing can happen unless both of those things happen. And what that means is that on our end, there's no way for us to take your money, and automatically a transaction is approved at kind of execution automatically. And so what we would do, so because we're built on Arbitrum and the way that I guess Arbitrum works is, and especially with the Gnosis safe signatures as well, is essentially that say a request comes in for a specific transaction, we're able to, I guess, for a period of maybe 10 seconds or so, for example, blockchain transaction may take 10 seconds. And so there's, especially on, I mean, Arbitrum is a bit faster, but essentially there'd be a process of, for that small period, we would be, I guess, not approving transfers. So there's a couple ways to solve this problem. This is one of them, and it's more of on like for the 10 seconds that a transaction is happening until it's confirmed, like we won't be able to approve any signatures, and so that kind of mitigates the risk of someone trying to come in and I guess swiftly move the funds out. Another approach that we do have kind of as well is around a bit more of like a staking model as well. So we'll have like approved spending limits based on kind of how much you're staking, and or it might be a pre-approval process as well if it's a larger spending amount. So depending on like the size of the transaction, what we're looking at will be like a combination of all these things, because it is a tricky one to solve because of the speed of the card processing transaction time versus the speed of the blockchain. But Arbitrum is definitely it's a better one to build on for solving this kind of problem.
Yeah, I definitely see that that I guess pre-approved in the staking protocol. I definitely see that vision there, where everything is already pre-approved based on what an investor put into the pool. Then that should give an estimate of how much they're able to spend a day or a month, etc. Definitely see that there. But yeah, when is this protocol? When do you think this protocol be live after you launch?
So we're trying to go. So at the moment, we're very close with the cards, and what we're trying to do is release the cards ideally this month, and then so this month we're looking at the cards. Next month we're aiming for the kind of closed doors strategy testing with TGE in February. So we're very, next few months are jam-packed for us, and there's a lot, super exciting times. But that's kind of our short-term roadmap, with the cards being the first product that we are releasing.
Oh, wow. Okay, so this will be, you guys are striving to have this ready, like you said, TGE at launch pretty much. Wow.
Exactly.
Okay. Okay. And so I'm assuming this. Oh, go ahead, Matt.
Just really quickly, because we had a lot of questions around this when we first came out of stealth mode of why aren't you doing this? Why aren't you doing that? You need to blow up, hype. But one of the things that we love to stress is that Kevin and his dev team specifically spent around 2 years in stealth mode, just building out the technology, because one thing that we were speaking about very early on is solving complex issues in DeFi. One of the things that we've noticed, especially in marketing, is how we build up these really strong narratives, but often the product is lagging behind. And at KEI Finance, one thing we really wanted to do when we launched this platform on 8th of February is people to be able to get the maximum out of an MVP that you can, which is why we have the card system pretty much ready to go, and we'll have that in private testing for December. People connecting through January and ready to go in February, as well as the trading strategies, the staking, and then shortly after the affiliate IDs as well. So hats off to Kevin and his dev team for silently building for 2 years. to give that experience on launch as well, because it makes things just so much easier from a user experience point of view.
Yeah, this is not an easy task to solve. I had a private meeting with Kevin, and I'm man, just like 5 or 10 minutes that we had. This is actually a project I would love to see succeed, because it's necessary in the space. And you guys are trying to figure out a way to solve this complexity and the problem that currently exists in the real world from Web 2 to Web 3, which is a necessary step to solve for people to adopt into the Web 3. So yeah, I think 2 years, that's a long time to be working on. And but I think I think it's warrants it. It's a very complex project. But it seems like you guys say that this will be ready in 2 months. I look forward to see it. I think this is actually, I'll be the first one to use it actually. I would love to use it and see how it works, and the speed of transaction, etc. Because like you said, it's a lot of complexity that goes into solving that, right? If I'm able to go into a line and use that card, and you guys worked out all this protocol, all behind the scenes and solve that way, like you said, within 10 seconds, I'm able to get approval and using the funds that I have currently in my portfolio, which is crazy. So what that means is, Kevin, like I don't even have to sell my current portfolio that my strategies that I'm trading, actively trading, right, or investing, right. So what you're saying is I can literally use that funds at the same time I'm investing. Is that correct? Is that correct?
Exactly. Yeah. That's the ultimate goal that we're trying to create, is that experience that's like so seamless, and it's just it's just there, and it's like you can be earning and not have to worry about or think about moving anything out of your strategy. It's just, you can just leave it there, and you can watch it grow. You can come to the dashboard every day and see its progress. But you don't have to move anything out of it. You can just enjoy watching it. Essentially, you don't have to manage it, and that's the same with the purchase. And you don't have to move it out of into a third party to sell it. You don't have to move it to deposit it into a pre-approved place. So this is the kind of experience that we're trying to create, so seamless and I guess intuitive as well.
Right. I mean, I don't want to get too technical, but what about like the gas, for example? Let's say a day where you have, let's say your platform blows up, you have a lot of people using the platform. And now they want, pretty much in a sense, you are swapping, right? You are swapping because of the behind the scenes. You literally have to take that portfolio and you have to trade into USDT, then you have to, send it to whatever the retailer. So you have a lot of steps that in place. Uh, I can only imagine there's so much gas involved. Like there's so many. How are you? Are you guys just so? Does the investors pretty much just eat up the gas like they would for every transaction like we're doing it right now?
So I guess that's one of the benefits of being on the layer 2, is that you don't have the I guess obviously the Ethereum gas prices, which would be, there's no way we could do this on Ethereum, for example. But with the way that we're planning to use our gas, because for example, we're especially even in the accounts, like the accounts we plan on covering user gas for transactions as well. So all of this is different parts of the protocol will be generating more revenue than other parts. And so for example, it might be the case that the cards themselves may not be I guess bringing in as much as, for example, the strategies. And so what might be the case is that the strategies will be covering or helping to cover some of the gas transactions for the whole protocol. And so it will be like a balancing act. And it's definitely something that we do need to be mindful of as we grow, especially if it was to all of a sudden blow up. So it is something that we are kind of planning for and looking at, but it's kind of this balancing act that's our plan on solving this problem. And I think I don't know if you want to add anything. else there, Matt, but I think that was pretty much the technical crux of what we're doing there.
Yeah,
Tiny little
yeah.
bit of alpha, if you like.
Oh, go ahead.
Very quickly, some alpha is that we've actually the update in the white paper will appear tomorrow. So I don't think you would have seen it yet. But moving to a 4-tiered account system, starting from a free account, and then 3 subsequent tiers offering more benefits. And in our higher accounts, which are starting at $15 per month in the subscription model, one of the benefits you get there is actually no gas fees as well for the user as well. So if you're keen to learn more about the project, we're going to drop that alpha tomorrow in the white paper, and then we'll be dropping a blog with that as well. But I can announce that that's going to be one of the benefits that people will get. So they won't even need to think about it if you're on the right account as well.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Just balancing the protocol, and I think I like that a subscription base as well. Yeah, very very awesome stuff, man. I definitely look forward to see how this whole thing play out. Um, yeah, so I think we pretty much have a very good understanding of the I guess investing and trading protocol as well as your payment solution that's directly tied to the real world now. Did we miss on anything before we go on to the next topic?
So there's one. I mean, it is a bit more of a technical product, but we have the so our access pillar is kind of powered by this technology of KEI Connect, which is essentially like a account abstracted wallet. So that is something that we will it will be powering kind of that whole protocol, but as well as that, we plan, like a lot of the stuff we're building, we want to build it in a way that other people can build on top of it and build and use it as well. So for example, they could use KEI Connect into their DeFi application. So users of the KEI Finance protocol can take advantage of other platforms as well without, I guess, essentially needing to the complexities of a Web3 wallet or something like that as well.
Very awesome. Wow. I think that's going to definitely, I guess, scale you guys up, right? If there's other people, other projects actually incorporate this protocol, yeah, I think definitely I see that scalability side of it for sure. All right. Now let's get back to the staking, and I want to, I guess, talk about uh, if an investor buy into the token, because apparently the protocol is designed for, to get the revenue to kick back into the holders. Let's talk about that. Where the revenue is coming from, and how does it get back to the token holders?
Yeah, sure. So staking is our core mechanism for distributing that. So by, I guess, holding the KEI token in one of these staking pools, you get not only governance voting power, but also revenue share. And the way that works, so where the revenue comes from, so we have, I guess, many different access points throughout the protocol that kind of bring revenue in. And so I guess the two biggest ones would be the strategies and the cards. So the strategies themselves, our plan is to have essentially a success fee model whereby like a percentage of the strategy, whenever it makes like a successful trade that would generate profit for the user, like a percentage of that would go back into the protocol and go back into the staking pool as well. So what that means is that if you're staking the KEI token, then essentially you're getting revenue share or profit share from all the strategies that are running on the protocol as well. And yeah, so it's a bit more of like a universal way to, I guess, take advantage of potentially many different pools as well. So that's one avenue there. And then we have the card as well. So with the transaction fees, and so the potential subscription model as well. These are the kind of things that can come back into the protocol and then go back into the stakers as well. So I would say those are the two core pieces. We have, I guess, multiple other places, like for example, with the NFTs, if you're selling an NFT on, like, for example, OpenSea, and like OpenSea with their the fee for the creator, then that creator fee comes back into the protocol as well. So we kind of bringing like all the places that generate revenue back through the protocol, and then that protocol itself will automatically give that to the stakers and distribute it accordingly as well.
Okay. Okay. So now, Kevin, do you have to be in the staking pool in order to benefit the rewards, or just so if I were to buy the token, if I were just to hold it only,
Yeah.
I would not be earning the revenue, right?
No, that's right. So what you could do is, as part of your strategy, you could put a K stake in there. So you could say, like, I want, I don't know, you could do it to be 5%, or it could be like 20%. You know, it's up to the user how much, but you could select in your strategy that you want K to be staked in there as well. And so now, as part of your strategy, you're earning the rewards of the protocol, as well as having it traded as well.
I see. So I can pick a basket that has K in it. I see. Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. Awesome. Okay. Yeah, very straightforward. Now, I do have a question though. Now, let's walk with us, because, like, again, you guys are building this to be simple, to be efficient, to be easy for anyone, whether you have the technical knowledge from Web3 or not, right? To onboard the regular users into the platform. Walk us through the different steps that I'm able to, I guess, sign up for the protocol. Because when I read your white paper, you have different types of ways to sign up, including if you want to be, I guess, anonymous as well. So yeah, let's talk to us about that.
Yeah, so we've got, so right now it's 4 different ways to sign up. So the original method is still there with Web3. So you can connect with your MetaMask, and you can actually create an account with your MetaMask. And I guess that way it's kind of, you know, you still have the decentralization as well, like fully with that connection. And then you have social authentication, for example, Google, and that's one-click kind of login, OAuth. Then you have email and password, which would be connected to your email, which means that if you ever forget your password or anything like that, you can recover it through your email. The same thing with Google connection as well. The final one is the more anon version, which is like, I don't want to use Web3. I don't want to use anything kind of user data related. Well, I also should note that, like, any kind of user data we don't actually save. So we try to just keep like as much minimal as possible. We don't want to know kind of anything about the user. We let, like, for example, the KYC gets sent through to a third party. We don't hold that. Anything to do with names and stuff as well. Like if it's associated with Google, it stays with Google. So all the data we try to keep to the minimal. So the unique ID isn't too far from what the other ones are in terms of what the data we are saving. But the unique ID method is essentially you would have an ID, and when you create it, you would have a PIN code. So in the same way you would have a 2-factor authentication, essentially all you would need is a unique ID and this PIN code to get in. So it kind of is a bit of a speedy process, because it's just a PIN code, 6 digits, but it is it's like, for example, if you connect to Google Authenticator, one of those two-factor authentication PIN code methods. Yeah, and so that's the final one there.
Awesome. Yeah, I mean, you guys have thought out pretty much for everyone. So I could be anonymous if I wanted to, correct? So let's say if I eventually the card the credit card wise,
Mm-hmm.
do I have to KYC myself and dox myself in order to use your credit card?
So for our physical debit card, that one is required because of I guess the connection with banking and MasterCard, but that all kind of goes to a third party and is handled by them. We plan on releasing the next step after our debit card is the virtual debit cards, which have the potential to be anonymous. The only downside to these anonymous versions is that you don't have, I guess, so much flexibility in terms of, I guess, the amount you can spend, and like, for example, the anonymous card, potentially you can only load up $2,000, and it acts in more of a prepayment method, so you'd have to top it up, or at least like it would have to be automatically topped up, which means you wouldn't be able to keep the funds in your portfolio. So there are some downsides to the anonymous version, but yeah, so that if you're I guess more comfortable with the KYC approach, then you do kind of get that more flexibility there. So we're trying to create multiple avenues for depending on what people prefer.
Okay, there are options. Okay. All right, sounds good. Yeah, I think that's all the questions that I have. You know, yeah, thanks for answering all the technical questions because I think this is actually very awesome protocol that you guys are building. Something I definitely see myself using as well.
Yeah, no, it's definitely we're super excited about it, and can't wait to be 2 months from now.
Yeah, it's 2 months from now. So let's talk about that, Kevin. So right now, I see that you guys having a sale in Gem Pad right now. Now, is this still a private sale or pre-sale?
So this is pre-sale. Yeah, so we're getting more into so we've just finished our pre-sale on our website, and then now we're going into a launchpad focused over the next few months. So we'll go through some decentralized launchpads in December and some centralized launchpads in January.
I see. Okay. So it's because it says special sales over in Gem Pad. Okay.
Yeah.
And how much have you guys raised too far to date?
So to date, we're all up. It's probably about 200 plus thousand. So that's including, we had a pre-seed of 120K USD, and then we had our sale on our website for about 67, and then we have I guess some bootstrapped funds from myself kind of coming in as well.
That's not a lot at all. I mean, I was expecting like over close to 1 million. So you guys only have raised. Okay, so that's actually not. And you guys been working with us for a very long time. You guys just been building. I mean, just putting in your time out to build this, or where did the money come from?
In terms of the sales, or which?
Just the development in general, because you guys been working on this for two years.
So
I feel like 200K is just not enough. Well, it seems like a project of this caliber would have raised a lot more money already.
Yeah, well, I guess that's guess that's the benefit of having more of a technical founder, is you can get a lot of dev done with no cost. But yeah, so I think in terms of like the technical side of things, a lot of it has been much more affordable because of my own, I guess, personal experience, and like the people I've kind of been able to bring on board as well.
The other angle as well is that it was very much in the core values of KEI Finance that we keep this as kind of as public as possible, especially with the raising. So we didn't take a traditional kind of raising under the VC spectrum that a lot of people normally do, as well as being in stealth for 2 years before sort of myself and the team that I'm working with came on around sort of March, April of this year. That most of it was just in a private build, or a stealth build, as we like to call it, that included a proof of concept as well to check some of the kind of foundational elements out to make sure that they worked as well. And then going into a purely public raise in a bear market, which is a brave thing to do. So yeah, excited to have the raise on now, Gempad. But we are going into a very strong raising period as well. So we have Gempad, then we have Fjord Foundry as well after that, and then we'll back that up with so those are the 25% discounts on KEI for early adopters, and then with the centralized launch pads there'll be a 10% discount through January. We're looking at we're in 4 conversations there that we look to seal, and then 2 IEOs which we can't mention until we sign the contract, but there's 2 conversations for IEOs there as well. And funnily enough, you dropped $1 million. If those raises are all kind of successful, that's kind of the figure that we'll go to market with on February 8th as well. So there's another reason about raising without VCs is it's very hard to raise a lot of money when you're so far away from launching a protocol. So we've put it all before the launch, where we can show our Figma, show our UI UX, get these cards out early so people can actually see that we're not just talking warm air, that we actually put our money where our mouth is, and there's a tangible experience to play with before the KEI token and the full protocol goes live on February 8th. As well. So that's all part of the bear market strategy, as we called it.
Yeah. I mean, you guys are very busy in the next couple of months here. So do you guys have a hard cap, or do you guys have a number that you guys want to achieve? And if you do, what is that number? I guess my question ultimately is, what do you estimate the initial market cap to be?
Yeah, so it's a great question. So we've got our tokenomics sheet there. So we were running at a so based on our pre-sale, we had planned for multiple rounds. However, because I guess we only went through the first round, what's going to end up happening is there'll be a bunch of tokens that will be locked away, which will be dedicated to just slowly populating the liquidity pool over time. So that those will be pretty much all the unsold tokens. So the initial, circulating supply, or the fully diluted valuation, would be around several million, depending on, I guess, how the next few sales go. But then the actual market cap would be much less, because this total circulating would be, it just depends on how the next few sales go. But, the actual market cap will be much less than that.
I see. Awesome. Could you run very fast, like really quick, for us on the vesting period? So let's say if I was to invest in Gempad currently right now, what does that vesting look like?
Yeah, for sure. So the vesting setup. So if you go to Gempad and purchase, what you get is a token which, when we go live in February, you will be able to exchange for the actual KEI token, and that will be 15% unlocked straight away. And then 85% would be vested over 4 months in a stake, so in a lock stake. So that means that while you're vesting, you're still getting the benefits of the stake at the same time.
I see. Okay, so you're all getting the rewards at the same time while you're vesting. Okay, sounds great, Kevin. I think, Matt, that's all the questions I have. I think I have pretty much very clear visions of what you guys understanding of your vision and what you guys trying to achieve. And I look forward to see how all this play out in the next couple of months here. But like Matt said, I think what really differentiate you guys is that you guys been working for 2 years, and like you say, Kevin, you are a developer, so you guys been putting a lot of time to build this. Especially you have only been raising 200K only, so that helps a lot in any kind of project when you have the founder as a developer as well. So that helps a lot. It means they can save a lot of money. That's all the question that I have. I know that we do have community questions, a bunch of them, and Mike has keep track of those questions. You guys have time to answer a few questions?
Yeah, definitely.
All right. So with that, Mike is going to come on and he's going to ask a few questions away from the community.
Alrighty, thank you, Seattle. Good presentation there, Kevin and Matt. Very thorough, very well articulated as well. One of the questions I do have for myself here is, and I might have missed this, I know you have a few different options for your cards, the plastics and metal. Is there any differences between these cards besides the, one being plastic and one being metal? Any benefits to the differences of these two?
Yes, there absolutely is. Kevin, we're going to drop this on Wednesday, but since we've got a pretty focused group of people here, might just run through the table quickly because we've just sort of even simplified the model even more. So to answer that question, it'd be great if we sort of run through what our base structure is going to be so people can understand what getting those cards is all about. Let me just bring up the table because we finalized that model today. 10 seconds. Okay.
Yeah, so essentially,
So
the plastic will be on a, as Matt mentioned, while he brings up the table, the different tiers of your account. So the lower tiers will I guess be able to get the plastic for free, and then the metal tier would be the highest one. So that one would come with the most perks and benefits of an account, including bonuses to staking, bonuses to extra transactions you can perform for free. We're mitigating transaction fees on the card as well for the first X amount of dollars, and that would also bring in greater, I guess, or reduction in transaction fees there as well. So it would be a tier-based system, and then the metal would be reserved for the top tier there.
Those cards are actually available for pre-purchase now for people that want to participate in the private testing environment that we're going to be releasing this month. So to give you an idea for that metal card, if you were to buy that now at $150 US, you could buy that now. That comes with the highest tier free subscription for 12 months. And in that subscription, which is our tier 4, will be $45 a month. So top of my head, times that by 12 is $500 and something for the year. So you're getting a good saving on the 12-month subscription. You get the metal card itself, the affiliate ID, which we haven't spoken about much today, but it's in the white paper for anyone keen to learn about the affiliate program. 0 swap fees, 25% boost on your stake, no gas fees, no unstake fee, 500 gas-free transactions, and the first $1,000 spent on that card comes with no fees, as well as free shipping on that card as well. So that's if you were to buy that metal one now, you're saving around $300 odd, $400 odd dollars with the free 12 months experience with all those benefits in there. The other 3 tiers, one of which is a free tier, will come with the plastic card and subsequent benefits, which will be dropping tomorrow as well.
And that's the two that you're going to be offering there, Matt and Kevin, will be the plastic and metal, and just those two tiers between those two?
Yeah, well, there'll be the non-virtual KYC card as well in the future. Once we get the platform up and running, that one will come. But this is just a base as well. So the $15 per month one, which is a plastic one, comes with a whole lot of benefits that we'll announce tomorrow as well. But the good thing about being a really community-focused protocol is that we can expand on these, especially as we start to get more volume. We can really start to look at different sort of benefit models as well. Right now, we're kind of basing off some familiar models in Web2, Revolut, TransferWise, these kind of companies. But then as we can upgrade the tech as well, once we get a lot of volume through, what we can actually do with those cards is look at some cashback ideas as well, and some benefits in the real world to just make that more experience, that experience more tangible as well. So what we announce tomorrow will be kind of the base, and then with the help of governance, that'll be expanded upon in the future.
Very good. When you have those updates too, let us know. We'll get them posted into the chat here for you as well. Next, coming on to the community question here. This community question is, what if we happen to encounter any discrepancy or technical issues when using the card? Do you happen to have a real-time customer service that can help resolve such cases?
So initially, we will have, I guess, it might not be real time per se, but it's something that we're definitely, I guess, going to have very, very shortly after launch. The technical customer, because the technical issues, they can be a bit tricky. So they're having it's going to be needed, pretty much essential to have a full customer support team. But initially, we will just be, I guess, a smaller team kind of catering for that. So it's going to depend on time zone as well. It might not be real time, but maybe within the hour.
Within the hour, okay, that's actually good.
I think we try and leverage the best we can with AI chatbots just for something like the really common questions and support that comes up, just so that if someone's not around for 60 minutes, there's a good chance that we can get the information to them. But the team, I mean, the front of business team, if you like, we're all over in Europe, and then the other teams all across Asia and APAC. So we pretty much have all the globe covered, which has allowed us to sort of help customers now and, going into the future as well with the help of some AI chatbots. We should be able to nail that down pretty tight, I think.
Very good. Yeah, being around the world is essential for around the clock help for sure. Moving on to the question about where did I just load it there? Are these all taken down? All right, this one is about post-launch. After post-launch, let's talk about the roadmap and what's coming after the launch here. What's going to be immediate and long-term, if you could speak on these goals immediately after launch.
Yeah, so the immediate goals after our TGE will be, for example, the affiliate system. So getting that integrated within all of the, I guess, different revenue streams so that people can be referring people and essentially earning on strategies, transaction fees, like all sorts of different avenues. So it's definitely a big part that we want to keep, we want to add into our decentralization model as well. For the strategies, a big part will be expanding upon those. So expanding into different assets and adding, I guess, extra features and functionalities for those, like really refining the product and experience there. For example, we'll be launching with initially a certain amount of assets, but we definitely want to expand into tokenization of real world assets as well, which can be like tokenized gold, silver, housing. There's a lot of different. I've been keeping an eye on like many different platforms out there that are starting to bring these into DeFi, and I would really love to expand our strategies into that space as well. So you're not just having crypto in your portfolio, but also real world assets as well.
Okay. Now, speaking about the crypto here, as you know, there's always, I think we spoke this on this a little bit earlier, but new coins are always coming to the market. What's the criteria for these guys being able to come into the pools to be part of your system?
Yeah, so there would be so it would have to go through a thorough verification process about the project, the setup of their companies, their team KYC, or team like user base, and also the liquidity size of the pool as well, and kind of how the contracts are there. The main thing is that I think the most important thing really is the ability for someone to manipulate the market there. So if there's any potential signs for them to be able to do that, then that's a pretty big flag. So in terms of like where that liquidity is, how it's owned, where it sits, if it's locked away, or who has access to it, and is there a potential for someone to manipulate the market in that token as well? So, and these are kind of all the factors that would, I guess, be the deciding.
Okay. Now, coming back to the credit card, debit card use here, Benedict Lewis had a question about, where in the world right now you're going to have this card. Is this going to be a worldwide card you can ship to anywhere and use anywhere in the world?
Yeah, exactly. So, it will be worldwide, except for there are a few blacklisted countries, which I can't remember specifically off the top of my head, but I believe they're along the lines of
There's Russia, Afghanistan, and Iran right now.
Okay, yeah.
Russia and Iran. Okay. So let's talk about some partnerships, guys. Who do you guys have on for partnerships now, and what is the criteria that you guys look for in getting partners, and who you're hoping to onboard, if anybody?
Yeah, that's a great question. So you can check out our webpage. We've got a kind of list of some of our partners there at the moment, including Gelato, Li-Fi, Exodus, Arbitrum, Hacken, and we're also looking in integrating Layer 0 as well. So for us, technology is, it's a big piece of our protocol. So having partners that are able to offer some kind of technical integration, whether that's they're integrating us into them, or we're integrating them into us. So, those are definitely big plus in terms of our partnerships. Did you want to add anything there, Matt, about non-technical or?
Yeah, I mean, there's sort of the technical ones in terms of like the partners that we're going to be adding into in the future. So like, we put the call out there for projects on the lines of like Aave and Lido, things that we can really sort of advance using that K-Connect technology that Kevin was speaking about earlier. But they all come with really cool partner marketing opportunities as well for us to sort of grow kind of organically as a small team. So we're always looking for that. We've got a really good relationship with Arbitrum and had full support from Arbitrum as well. But just to note that we're also part of the cross-chain function is that we're going to be launching this across multiple chains. Up front, from memory, BNB and Shardian. And then we're also in talks with a couple of other chains as well. So as we do that, we'll be able to keep doing lots of different partner marketing things. But we like to try and keep that pretty tight in the sense that, if we're going to do something in terms of a partner marketing scheme, we also like to make sure that there's kind of a reason to be doing that, not just hyping things up across Twitter. There's a sort of a tech background there, or kind of like an educational kind of marketing experience that we can add to that as well. So we're in chats with Ricky and the team over at Shardium and the BNB guys as well as some other chains that we'll hopefully be able to announce pretty soon too.
Oh, very good. So next question here is coming from Benedict, is for a user who frequently travels internationally, he wants to use their K card for various expenses abroad. Say if I'm in the USA today, I'm somewhere across the seas tomorrow, I've spent USA money, USD here. How does that convert when you're going out of internationally and going to slide your card and spend? Is it something that you input yourself that, I've come out from the States and I need to change my currency as I spend?
So the card will be locked to a specific, sorry. The card is locked to a currency. So at the moment we are USD on the card. So what that means is that we'll have, so for example, spending in USD to USD will be like no international fees. But then if you were to go overseas, then that's when kind of you start having these international transaction fees. But then that's where we have the accounts coming into play. So what we're looking to do there is give people zero transaction fees for the first X amount of dollars that they spend. And so that way they can still go overseas and experience this, seamless usability of the card without having the fees there, kind of making it hit to their account.
Okay, very interesting. Last question I'm going to ask you guys here is, if you could pick, and this might be a little bit difficult, if you could choose or pick one task that you guys have built or are currently building that has been the most difficult task on you guys to do, what would that be?
That's a
Question.
That's a good question. Yeah, I like that one.
Surely it's got to be around the speed of the cards on the transaction. I mean, that was a big conversation that you've nailed down now, which is exciting.
Yeah, that was definitely, that's definitely a technically, it's interesting because, each piece has their own kind of equally complex challenge. For example, like the security behind the account abstraction, that is definitely, something that's, not taken lightly. And then also the speed of the card transactions, that is definitely, impressive, problem to solve. It's, being able to fit crypto within 50 milliseconds is, something that doesn't really go together, but, we're figuring out a way to do that, which is pretty cool. So maybe it is more the card piece. But
yeah,
there's so much there that there's so much, like for me, like super exciting pieces of technology that I could, maybe it'd be worth having a call, just about the technology alone sometime, which is super exciting. But yeah, maybe it's the card then for fitting it into 50 milliseconds would be.
I think the other thing that we've learned as well, like on a non-technical point, Kev, is that we've done a lot of qualitative data checking. So just sort of all these people that are silently watching us, because we've noticed that there's a lot of people that are just like silently watching us that all just pop up with a question here and there, but you never see them for like a few weeks and they pop up again with another question on some new content that you've put out. And I think if I go back through it's something like 73% of the community that we can base it on are all waiting for launch. And I think that comes when you're launching a protocol like this that has so many kind of different elements and offers a really full experience and solves the one big problem of complexity, but it has all these little kind of elements to it that raise so many questions, right? And rightfully so, around the K card function. How does that work? Okay, well, how does the trading strategies work? The login, is it secure? All these kind of questions pop up. And I'm excited for February 8th because there's so many people that are just silently waiting, and they replied to our surveys as, I'm just waiting for you to launch, because they want to see us put our money where our mouth is. And from marketing, all the attribution will come in one day, hopefully.
100%. Definitely a lot of moving parts for sure. There actually was one last question I did want to ask you guys too, as you guys do have an audit and KYC. Who did the audit? Who did the KYC? And through the audit, was there any findings?
Yeah, so we are KYC'd by Assurify, and our auditing partner at the moment is Hacken. So the initial audit had, I would say, a couple findings around use case, but they were pretty much all ironed out and I guess cleaned up. I just want to add as well, like in terms of the auditing, it's definitely going to be an ongoing thing, something that we want to use multiple different places as well. So we're not going to just be limiting to one auditing partner, so that for any potential vulnerability, we'll kind of have the most eyes as possible. It's definitely going to be very important to us.
100%. Well, I appreciate the presentation there, Matt and Kevin. That was absolutely well articulated and very technical today. So great stuff. Any last words for USA?
Big thank you for everyone coming out. For joining the space. The sale is on a GemPad right now, but if you have any other further questions, 11 a.m. UTC, which maybe for the East Coasters is a suitable time, you can join into our Discord for our community call. If not, jump into Discord, Telegram. Kevin, myself, Emily, Ash, Kaz, and Rojan are all very active in there. You can tag any of us in a support ticket, and happy to answer any question that you do have as well. Do check out the cards if you wanted to get a year free subscription there, and test that out with us in the private network as well. Those are up for grabs on the website now. But yeah, as always, it's important to do as much research as you can, and that's why we're here. That's why we're transparent. So come and chat with us in our community chats, and we're more than happy to give you all the documentation and support you need in making your decision.
Appreciate it, guys. Yeah, we're definitely going to pin your group back into the chat room as well. So that way the community, if they have any more questions, they can head on over and ask any additional questions there as well. Seattle, did you have something?
No, I just want to say thank you, Matt and Kevin. And like Mike said, if you guys, I know you guys launching in 2 months from now, so crypto space is a long time away. But just give Mike a DM, myself a DM, or any of our mod here in the room. If there's any update, let us know. So we will pin the information for you. Okay.
Perfect. I'll drop the table accounts tomorrow, so that you guys can share that for everyone who wants to look in those accounts. You can get them first. And for the people that are getting those cards as part of the giveaway today, come and chat with us as well. We can talk you through how to claim those and join us in the private testing.
That was good. And after this, we will pin your Telegram. So if you guys are listening, my opinion, I think the project is really good. Not financial advice. It's something I will be paying attention to. See how the project turns out. But it seems like the project has. I always invest in the team as well, and you guys have a great team put together. So yeah, thank you again very much, guys, and I'm very sure that we'll talk again soon in the future.
Sounds great. Thanks for having us.
Thank you, guys. 100%. We're going to come over to the giveaway now. For the plastic cards, I believe you had, let me look back here. I think it was 10 or a dozen. We're going to follow up with a post in US Encrypt group. So that way we get people that are interested in the project who are actually going to be the ones who's going to be wanting it and get going for a raffle. But I am going to share my screen over for all the names I took down today and do the cash part of this giveaway. Let's see, let me get my screen up here. I actually fell behind on this. Hold on. All right. There we go.
Mike, while you're doing that, sorry to jump back in, I'm just going to drop you the table now. So people can have a look at it, because the plastic cards that we're giving away are going to be a part of the account tier 3. So I'll send that table to our little group chat.
Okay.
Share it in the group if you want, just so people can see what they're getting as a part of that 12 months free subscription and the money they're saving.
Very good. Yeah, actually, I'll put that part of the post that's coming up soon here as well. Yeah, share that over, and I'll get that in there for sure, Bella. All right. Let's see. All right, well, we're going to spin this up and grab our $20 winner off the wheel here. Shuffle it up. And while this is spinning, I'd like to remind everybody that we have an active $25 Twitter giveaway going on. Go like, retweet, drop a comment there, and we'll be picking a winner there as well. Now, after this is all said and done, I'm going to be uploading to YouTube, where there's going to be an additional $15 opportunity. Go like and drop a comment there. We'll be picking that winner tomorrow as well. And as soon as this is over and I get everything all uploaded, I'll be dropping it over into our chat there, Matt and Kevin, the recording, so that way you guys have it for yourselves as well. Well, Terry, congratulations, won yourself $20. That is it for the wheel, guys. And share my screen here. You just say that was absolutely a great AMA, guys, and look forward to have you guys back. Post a pre-launch there, coming closer to it, and kind of see more of the progress going on here. Great stuff, guys.
Awesome, thanks.
All right, I'm going to close up here, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.
Sounds good. Thanks, guys. Bye.
Thanks, guys. Bye.